So yeah, we're set in Massachusetts, New England, 1692, the Salem witch trials. What's going on is that there's some of the children have been out into the forest and they've had a bit of a messing about with some black magic, possibly. And the next morning we find Reverend Paris at home with his daughter and niece, and they're trying to get away with as much as possible by not revealing what they were up to. Reverend Paris is concerned enough that he sent for another Reverend Hale to come along and see if there's any witchcraft involved. And that starts the whole ball rolling. And then it all starts to spiral after there when the girls start accusing people in the village of being witches.
I am Elizabeth Proctor. I am John Proctor's wife. I get accused of being a witch.
Yes, so I'm playing John Proctor, who's a landowner and farmer in Salem. He is quite well respected within the community. There's one major flaw, which is his big kind of conflict, internal struggle throughout the play, and is really kind of the crux of the whole plot behind the play. And yes, he has a good time dealing with it. Bless his heart.
I've just been having such a great time that so far there doesn't seem to be so many challenges. I think we've got such a good cast, such a good director, such a good crew behind us, and everyone is so good.
Yeah, I mean, I echo what Alison's just said there about the cast and crew. When you've got a large cast, it's really difficult to get every single person backstage and on stage really focused, and not just focused, but seriously good at what they do. And we've been lucky enough to get that in this production.
It's a large-scale piece. In other words, there's a lot of people in it. That's one of the really things that is quite challenging. You've got to find enough space to get them all on stage. There's a lot. There's 22 people in it, and it's a lot of people on stage at once. And there are a couple of scenes when everybody comes in at the same time.
In Act 3, when it all starts to kick off big time, the yellow bird stuff, it's all just page after page after page of speaking over each other and everyone coming in at different times, and there's just absolute chaos and carnage. And from that point of view, everyone is, I don't even know how many people are on the stage at that point, about 15, I think. And every single one of them has to be completely on it, because if they're not, then all the tension that we've built up so beautifully throughout that act is just washed away. And luckily, so far, it's all looking pretty good. I think everyone in that scene is doing a very good job. Yeah.
The hard work put in by the actors is such a reward, because it means that I can get on and direct them. If the actors, don't have time to put in the work and then rock up at rehearsals and they're not ready, then it's very challenging for me to be able to work with them in the evenings. Because of our amateur theatre, we're working in the evenings after people have been at work all day.
I think it's a really real relationship. And again, I think that comes back to the writing. You could take this relationship and the relational situations into any other context and they would still feel real. This is a story that we know. This is a story that we recognise between a married couple. Yes, it can seem a bit separate because of the context of the rest of the play, but it's not. It's just a real human relationship with strengths and weaknesses, and both characters have flaws, which makes it real and not just kind of they're fine, and this guy did this one thing once, but we're all okay. It's real. We always need that perennial reminder not to underestimate teenage girls. I think they are a group of people that society continually ignores. It really shows us the nature of what a witch hunt is.
All relates to the McCarthyism that Arthur Miller was talking about when he wrote the play.
This and the McCarthyism and the HUAC trials that he was talking about, they were about looking and not finding evidence. There is a whole point about the nature of evidence, and the same with McCarthyism. And we get so many people now telling us that they're being witch hunted. It's not a witch hunt when you can print out the evidence.
Do we have witch hunts? Yes, of course we still have witch hunts. Do we still carry them out in the same way? No, not exactly. I think that it's very easy to see that there's been witch hunts in recent years all over the world.
For me, actually, I think the biggest parallel in 2026 I can draw is social media, and how much of a witch hunt that can become. They will accuse, and they were just willing to pile in on anyone without fact and without substantiation. And I think the Crucible, really, it proves how scarily easy it is.
Because human behaviour doesn't change, unfortunately. It's a bad thing, but it doesn't change. When people are manipulative enough to use a situation, they will use it.